You're walking to your car at night. The parking lot is empty. Your steps get faster. You don't know why. Your hand grips your keys a little tighter, one poking out between your fingers. Nothing is there. You know nothing is there. But your body isn't listening to what you know. It's listening to something much older. And the real answer for why is far stranger than you're just being paranoid. Your fear of the dark isn't a glitch. It isn't a leftover superstition from scary movies or campfire stories. It's a survival system. One built over millions of years. And it's still running, right now, in the back of your skull, even while you read this sentence in a fully lit room. Start with the obvious question. Why does darkness feel dangerous at all? Light is just the absence of photons bouncing into your eyes. Darkness is nothing. It shouldn't feel like anything. But it does. It feels like something is watching. Why? The answer starts almost 2 million years ago, on the grasslands of East Africa. Your ancestors were not the biggest animals out there. They weren't the fastest, either. Anthropologists Donna Hart and Robert Sussman spent years studying the fossil record for a very specific kind of evidence: bite marks, puncture wounds, claw scrapes on ancient hominin bones. What they found reshaped how scientists think about early humans. Your ancestors weren't just hunters. For a very long stretch of prehistory, they were prey. Leopards, hyenas, saber-toothed cats bigger than any predator alive today. All of them hunted our ancestors, and most of them hunted at night. Human eyes are almost useless in low light. No night vision. No heightened sense of smell to track a predator's approach. Just soft, slow, exposed primates, sleeping in the open, surrounded by animals built specifically to kill in darkness. So evolution did the only thing it could do. It made darkness feel wrong. It wired a jolt of unease into your nervous system every time the light disappeared. Not because darkness itself is dangerous. Because for millions of years, darkness usually meant something dangerous was closer than you could see. This is where a strange psychological quirk comes in, one that still fires inside your brain today. Psychologist Justin Barrett calls it the hyperactive agency detection device. It's a mental shortcut. When your brain isn't sure if something is alive or not, it defaults to assuming it is. A shadow shifts. Might be the wind. Might be a predator. Your brain doesn't wait to find out. It reacts first. Think about the cost of being wrong in each direction. If you assume the rustling bush is nothing, and it's actually a leopard, you're dead. If you assume the rustling bush is a leopard, and it's actually just wind, you wasted a little adrenaline. One mistake ends your genetic line. The other mistake costs you a moment of embarrassment. Over millions of years, only one strategy survives. Assume danger first. Ask questions later. That's why your brain still turns ordinary shapes into threats the moment the lights go out. A coat on a chair becomes a crouching figure. A tree branch outside the window becomes a hand. You know it's irrational. Your ancestors' brains didn't need you to know that. They needed you to survive the night. Here's where the story gets stranger. Modern sleep science suggests something we didn't expect. Your ancestors probably weren't sleeping in one solid block, the way you try to now. Neuroscientist Jerome Siegel at UCLA studied 3 modern hunter-gatherer groups, the Hadza in Tanzania, the San in Namibia, and the Tsimane in Bolivia, none of whom use electric light. He expected to find people falling asleep the moment the sun went down. Instead, he found something closer to a shared nighttime vigilance. Group members drifted in and out of light sleep throughout the night. Someone was almost always semi-awake. Always listening. That's not insomnia. That's a system. A rotating watch, built into the biology of the group, so a sleeping band of humans was never fully unconscious at the same time. The ones who woke easily, who startled at a distant sound, who felt that unmistakable prickle of unease in total darkness, they were the ones who noticed the predator first. They were the ones whose warning saved the group. And they were the ones who passed on their genes. You are descended from the light sleepers. You are descended from the ones who couldn't quite relax in the dark. Every time you feel that flicker of unease walking down an unlit hallway, you're not malfunctioning. You're inheriting a survival trait that worked exactly as designed, for roughly 2 million years. Now here's the twist that should genuinely unsettle you. That system never got the memo that the world changed. Streetlights exist. Locks exist. Predators large enough to hunt you no longer patrol your neighborhood at night. And yet the amygdala, the almond-shaped structure in your brain responsible for fear responses, still treats a dark parking garage the same way it once treated the edge of the savannah at dusk. Researchers studying nyctophobia, the clinical term for fear of the dark, have found that this response isn't really about vision at all. It's about uncertainty. Darkness removes information. And your brain, across every stage of its evolution, has always treated missing information as a potential threat rather than a neutral gap. Not knowing what's 3 feet away doesn't feel like nothing. It feels like something is being hidden from you. Because for most of human history, it usually was. This explains something else, too. Why children so often fear the dark more intensely than adults, and why that fear tends to peak around the exact age children in ancestral environments would have started wandering slightly farther from the safety of the group. It's not a coincidence of development. It's a fear response calibrated to the age of maximum vulnerability, still echoing thousands of generations later. So think again about that parking lot. Your quickened footsteps. Your tightened grip on your keys. None of that is irrational fear left over from a scary movie you saw once. It's an inherited alarm system, tuned by predators that went extinct long before recorded history, still running quietly in your nervous system every single night. You didn't invent your fear of the dark. You inherited it, from ancestors who survived specifically because they felt it. The ones who felt nothing, who walked calmly into pitch darkness without a flicker of unease, mostly didn't make it to pass that calmness on. So tonight, when you flip a switch and the room floods with light, notice the small relief that follows. That relief isn't modern. It's ancient. It's the same relief your ancestors felt gathering closer to a fire 2 million years ago, watching the dark at the edges of the flames, grateful for one more night the shadows didn't win. And the next time your steps quicken in an empty parking lot, remember, it isn't paranoia walking beside you. It's every ancestor who ever made it through the night.